Shalom, real quick, giving all praise to Yahweh, Bashem Yahshua, Bashem Makakodah, Shalom to the 144,000 rest of left out there, Shalom to you all. I'm going to make this super quick because I'm getting ready to get out of here. Anyway, I'm going to entitle this video, E has spiritual power from the left-hand side. E has spiritual power from the left-hand side. And I spoke about this earlier, this attack that took place a week and change ago. U.S. forces going down into Venezuela, Caracas, and extracting the president of Venezuela, Maduro, and his wife. And the reports came out sometime later that at first it was 32 Cuban national security guys that got killed. Now it went up to 80, then it went up to over 100. But they go into details. Let me just go ahead and let it play. I'm not going to make this long. Fair use, fair use, fair use. I'm doing this to analyze this information, psychoanalyze it, critique it. I'm not making any money off of this. I don't gain to make any money off of this. Anyway, listen up. We've been talking about this, though.
And retweeted it. More coverage, basically confirming that, yet this is true. The story he tells lines up with what a modern electronic warfare and directed energy weapons can do, and this admission by him spooked a lot of people. And by the way, I should point out that the technology that was used is decades old. The stuff that we have now, just mind-blowing. Stuff that they're working on now that makes this stuff look like ancient in a lot of ways. So this is what the Venezuelan soldier told. I'm going to read a portion of the transcript here. He says, quote, "All of our radar systems shut down without any explanation. And then the next thing we saw were drones, a lot of drones flying over our positions." He then describes barely 8 helicopters and maybe 20 men in total, but with a level of technology advantage that made hundreds of defenders feel totally helpless. Let me put on the screen one piece of this quote, which is really the full tell here. He says, "At one point they launched something, it was like a very intense sound wave. Suddenly I felt like my head was exploding from the inside. We all started bleeding from our noses." He says, "Guys were vomiting blood and unable to move. We couldn't even stand up after that sonic weapon or whatever it was." Those are his words. First, the eyes go blind, and then the bodies just fall down in a heap, basically.
So, they believe with their technology, that shows you that they're hiding their technology. The Venezuelan military, they're not privy to the new technology because they keep it to themselves for good reason. They have at one point you had what was called F-16, a fighter jet. Now you have the 35 F-35. They sell the F-16s. The F-35s are far more advanced than the F-16s. So that gives Esau a big head. So when the Lord comes back with the angels, they're going to think that they're going to be able to destroy them through the pride of their weaponry, which the Most High Yahweh Bashem Yahushua gave them that technology. They didn't come up with that technology. Most High gave them that technology, and ultimately they're going to be wiped out of space, as pursuant to Revelation chapter 12. That's that war in heaven between Michael and his angels and the dragon and his angels. Stupid Christians say, "Oh, that's talking about Satan fighting against the Most High," and that already happened. No, that's Satan. The dragon is referring to you on the earth. you Edomites, descendants of Edomites. Jacob's going to be a part of that too, and they're going to be wiped out too. So that's that pride building up in them, man. Now, I'm pretty sure Russia has the same technology. They have technology. They hide their technology. You think you're fighting on an even playing field. They got AKs against AKs. No, it doesn't work that way. In order to defeat the enemy, you have to have far more superior weapons. Give you an example. If there was a war between the United States and ancient Rome, the United States weaponry would wipe out Rome inside of an hour, because it would fly its airstrikes, and just drop bombs on the. They destroy all the every last one of the legions, Roman legions, utterly destroyed. But that's what's the difference is. What's the difference? The difference is technology. Knowledge shall increase. The word science is knowledge. The word ciencia is Spanish for knowledge. So knowledge shall increase, meaning science shall increase. High tech shall increase. High tech is Greek for teach. So the Most High gave it to them. And the Most High going to use them to make them think that they're going to defeat the angels, which they think are aliens, and they're going to be wiped out.
Nose pouring blood out. Your head feels like it's going to explode. Totally helpless. So what are we really talking about here when we say directed energy? Well, a bunch of people online are kind of mashing three different things together. First, electronic warfare means attacking the spectrum. That means you don't need to blow up a radar if you can just jam it, if you can just spoof it, if you can just overload it, or cut the network. It depends on, totally. So it's just sitting there stupid. It can't do anything. The Economic Times describes something it calls the Wraith as an electronic warfare umbrella used in the Maduro capture, creating a digital blackout that paralyzed security infrastructure.
Oh, you can see the picture here. This is Maduro. He's wearing goggles. He can't see at all, so he's blind, and he has ear muffs where he can't hear. So he don't know what's going on. All he knows is he got arms leading him around.
Now, important note, there's also some confusion around that name as well, because the defense company CX2 also markets a product called Wraith, and they describe it as an autonomous airborne electronic warfare platform that geolocates high-value emitters like jammers, radars, and ground control systems. And here's their promo video for jamming part of this for that.
This is why when the scriptures say, what is that? Philippians, if I'm not mistaken, could be Ephesians. I haven't gone through it. The prince of the power of the air. He's the prince of the power of the air.
Jamming part of the story. Let's take a look at this. You see this guy sitting up he's a bad guy there, because you can tell because he's got a mask on, right? He's a bad guy. And they say, all of our drones are down. You know what we're going to do? We're going to send in the Wraith. Let's send in the Wraith, and we're going to take them out. And basically takes them out, removes all of the jamming, and totally turns the tables. So this raid wasn't just bullets, it was total control of the airwaves. Second piece of this, directed energy piece of the story. These things that hit you with radio frequency or millimeter waves to create immediate pain and force movement without a traditional projectile, so they're not hitting you with a bullet. The Pentagon has publicly described this as active denial technology, as a focused beam of radio frequency millimeter waves that penetrate only about 1/64th of an inch, the equivalent of like 3 sheets of printed paper. That's it. Into your body, creating like an intolerable heating sensation that stops you like in your tracks. And then, by the way, when you step right out of the beam, you're like, oh, it's gone. So it only goes down 1/64th of an inch on your skin. And it's intolerable. You gotta move. And if you want a pop culture moment from this to make this real for people, there's literally a Fox News segment when I used to work at Fox News many moons ago, where I interviewed my old colleague Peter Doocy, who tested this active denial system at the time, and he described exactly what it felt like. Listen.
Wow, the U.S. military revealing its brand new crowd control instrument that could also protect U.S. ships from pirates, the very intrepid. Peter Doocy volunteering to test this thing out, Allie.
And no, he was not the guy doing the shooting. He was actually shot at, and Peter's going to tell us what it felt like and show us that moment. Peter, take it.
There's Clayton Morris right there, without the beard. Holly could have recognized
Get away.
Allison, I'll tell you first that I learned this week firsthand. Non-lethal also means not pleasant. Look at this. You can't see it, hear it, or smell it, but it makes unruly mobs do this. The Defense Department's active denial system, a non-lethal weapon that can be used to control crowds.
That's spiritual power right there. That's the miracles in Revelation chapter 13. Wonders and the miracles. What is that? The 13 and 14 and 15 verse. 13 chapter 13 verse 13 chapter 14 verse. It mentions wonders. Then it mentions in the next verse miracles, which is the same exact word. So the word there is not wonder; it's miracles. Their technology. This is their tech. This is part of their sword that Yahushua gave them.
Crowds, secure perimeters, and keep pirates at bay. It could be a game changer.
This is one of the things that we can shoot first and ask questions later. Normally you can't do that.
So there you go. That's just an example of what that looks like. Then he went through the process and got.
Oh, I'm sorry. He doesn't have a beard. He just looks so much younger.
Zapped as well. So the third piece of this is the sonic or acoustic system. Oh, by the way, I should point out, like, that giant array that you saw there.
So we don't know if this guy is controlled opposition because he worked for Fox for a number of years.
It was decades old. Now it's tiny. They don't need this massive thing anymore. So now the third piece of this is the sonic or the acoustic systems, using sound as a weapon. Some systems are used for crowd control or area denial. Others discussed in the context.
My question is the initial attack of Venezuela, Caracas, Venezuela, how many civilians died? We know that 80-something to 100-something people died, but how many civilians died? Because this looks like regular buildings. Doesn't look like the government.
Context of disorientation, sort of nausea in all of this. And Carolyn Levitt, of course, posted on Twitter, the things that we have are very advanced using these sonic weapons. So I'm going to play a soundbite from congressional testimony talking about how these weapons work. Watch.
There's no entry or exit wound. How they're designed is to make the target feel like they're crazy, like they're imagining things, especially on the low duration, the low intensity, long duration hits.
Are either of you aware of any individuals who have AHI symptoms have passed away from their ailments?
I do.
I do.
Have any of you three panelists ever seen one of these weapons?
I have seen
So this weapon system can kill
in
you.
a 1991 version of the weapon, and it looks like a satellite dish with a unit this size attached to it. And of course, over the years, miniaturization
So we're talking over 40, almost 35 years ago. This technology's at least 35 years old.
has been possible. Obviously, there's a limitation to how miniaturized it can be because of the antenna size, which is always related to the wave. But still, it is something that can be well contained in the trunk of a car or even a large backpack.
Yeah. So, have you seen anyone? Do you know anyone who's passed away? It's supposed to be non-lethal. Non-lethal. You know anyone who's passed away from it? Yes. 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 Good, Philip.
They're starting to see these in some of the protests around the country. In the U.S., sitting in the back of pickup trucks. I've seen several images recently of these like sonic weapons.
And I've seen that too, the thing that looks like an antenna. I've seen those trucks. They haven't used it yet. So they're going to start using it.
In the back of pickup trucks at protest sites.
Yeah. Yeah, for crowd disbursement. Firing these microwaves. But they're non-lethal. But, oh, you've also seen people die from them. Yes, yes, yes. So, in the immediate, no, it's non-lethal. However many months later.
Yeah, I mean,
who knows?
In the case of a protest, though, I mean, yeah, it could be for crowd dispersal or incitement. Because, I mean, if it makes you crazy, like if they're just doing this low sort of like, you know, annoying buzz into a crowd, like can it ramp things up? You know, it's dangerous stuff all around.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. Well, here's the piece of this story that drives me nuts, though, right? Which is that conservative influencer victory lap stuff. I'm so over it now. You know, like, we're so back. America's unstoppable. No one else has this technology. You've seen all the tweets about this, right? We're playing chess while the world plays checkers. No one's going to mess with us. We've got this technology.
That's why they think they can defeat the aliens, which are the angels.
Seen those tweets. It's not true at all. It's a bald-faced lie.
But anyway, you can watch the rest of this. Shalom, on to the next.